Hello there. Are you here in response to the bulletin about my factotum research? Fantastic. Now let me fill you in on the details. I found this factotum head in a junk pile, which isn't too uncommon for the brass fortress. I was intrigued, however, by its strange coloring. I was even more intrigued when it began to speak to me. It gave a repeated message, requesting to find its integral of memory in the mnemonic planisphere. That's where you come in. I need an adventuring sort to journey to the planisphere in order to find this component. Are you still interested? The journey to the mnemonic planisphere is riddled with dangers, so it's best to prepare. Shouldn't be any issues once you head inside, though. My research leads me to believe the integral of memory will resemble a crystal. Would you believe that the apostles don't know how to create factotums? That was a rhetorical question. The sad truth is that while we apostles can create metal limbs and motors, we cannot replicate the intelligence Sotha Seal gave the factotums. We're also unable to enter the factories where they're created. Why does Lord Set do anything? He's the father of mysteries, after all. Through his silence, curiosity is born. Perhaps he meant for us apostles to figure this one out on our own. And I believe I've finally found a breakthrough with this factotum. Firstly, I already know it is an older, simpler model. You can see the dwarven influences in the skull, an aesthetic blight by today's standards. We apostles see dwarves as a race to scorn, not emulate. This model must predate that thinking. Secondly, unlike other factotums, it openly speaks of its components. Trust me, I've interrogated many of these machines in the name of my research. Perhaps as we reconstruct its mind, it will tell us details about its creation. And thirdly, well, its voice. Factotums are genderless machines, of course, but they all sound distinctly female. This one is the first I've met to have a male voice. I'm not sure what it means, but I am sure I'll find answers as I further my research.
so kind as to insert it into my forehead ridge?
You've returned in one piece. How gleaming! In your absence, I've set up a framework to contain the factotum while we assemble its parts. I'll have you do the honors. Of installing the integral of memory. You heard the head? Insert the crystal into its forehead ridge. And don't worry, you won't break it. Sotha Seal builds his creations to last.
To the left, please. Your left, not mine. Reflecting. Oh, I feel positively spring-loaded now. What a kind, generous apostle you are, which I recall is rather strange. I don't quite understand. I function only to know my Lord Sotha Seal and his apostles. You are not my lord, and thus you must be an apostle. Simple. Do you have an inquiry, or perhaps a task for me, apostle? Reflecting. I've come to the conclusion that I am. I have no memory stored of any of my kind who are older, so I conclude that I must be the first. How gleaming. I cannot recall my name, but you may call me Precursor. Of course. Let me check my integral of memory. Should be right. Great Sotha Seal in the sanctum. Someone's tampered with my crystalline memory matrix. But wait, something's burned in here. I seem to have left a note for myself. Ahem. Salutations, me. By now you must be wondering what happened to our memory. Dark forces have conspired to corrupt our knowledge of the world. But do not fear. I, the past you, have stored our memory in our other parts. A circumstance I have not accounted for. This is me now, not the message. I recall that my design includes both Dwemer and clockwork parts. I also recall my blueprint, so I can guide my assembly once you find my parts. Sotha Seal guide you, Apostle.
Astounding! The first factotum Sotha Seal created. We simply must complete construction now. The more memory it recalls, the further my research can develop. Council seat, here I come! The Precursor mentioned he was made of clockwork and Dwemer parts. I'd keep an eye out for the former as you travel around Clockwork City, and search Dwemer ruins out in Tamriel for the latter. And of course, I have your reward as promised.
Apostle, I have remembered something. Come quickly before it rusts.
Remember, the parts are most likely...
The pleasant sensation of riften grass on my thigh. I'm tempted to leave my left leg there, but my gyroscope is calibrated for 2 lower limbs. Lord Sotha Seal deemed it uncouth to give my parts eyes, but each has a wide array of sensors. I can orient myself on Nirn by the air's smell and the earth's feel. Why, my pelvis even has gustatory sensors. I suspect that's Lord Vivek's contribution. I mean, of course, I have no proof that he had a part in my creation, but I like to think so. My dramatic flair, my poetic soul, it helps set me apart from the rest of my siblings. To sense, to touch, to feel. What gift I have been given.
Remember, the parts are most likely in the Clockwork City, or in Dwemer ruins in Tamriel. I've heard of corrupted memory crystals firing at random, so you may want to return occasionally to see if the Precursor knows anything new. There's no way to be sure short of asking Lord Set, but many signs point that way. The dwarven influences, the different coloring, the male voice. Not to mention, he's more, shall we say, loquacious than your average factotum. Factotums don't have emotions or individuality. They say whatever they're functioned to say, nothing more. But this one seems to have a personality of sorts. For what reason, though? We have to continue our research if we're to find that out.
Lost within the radius, high upon a cliff, shining pink petals above. I think the ventral terminus is nearby. I'm sure I'll understand the symbolism once you return my integral of introspection. My poor right arm. It's going to rust at this rate, what with all the steam. Quick, you'll find it in southern Bangkorai. Grab it before it's too late. Pleasant sensation of riften grass on my thigh. I'm tempted to leave my left leg there, but my gyroscope is calibrated for 2 lower limbs. My right leg, consigned to the nether region of a dwarven sphere fabricator? The ignominy. I thought the Rorkin of Sentinel would show more respect. My pelvis feels the languid breeze of Deshan air among the flavors of a Dwemer cavern. One can never quite forget that combination of tastes. By Sophus seal, my chest is hot. It must be near a volcano. Perhaps the one in Alikir? I don't remember going to any others, but my memory isn't what it used to be. I feel chills down my spine. Literally, I haven't experienced a chill like this since Lord Set took me to Windhelm. Ah, the sounds and smells of Morrowind. I know these lands like the back of my hand. My left hand, to be exact. My dynamo core feels stiff as a plank. Oh yes, I know this feeling. Huh. Who'd have thought there was a research table in Stros Mackay? My integral of calculus lies deep within the mechanical fundament, suspended over a river of lava. At the time, I noted the walkway was structurally unstable, but alas, my calculations are in the integral. radius, high upon a cliff, shining pink petals above. I think the ventral terminus is nearby. I'm sure I'll understand the symbolism once you return my integral of introspection. My integral of reason lies within metal jaws in a wasteland of rubbish. I'm sure there's an analogy there, but I'll need the integral to tell you it. Oh, my poor nullification staff. Lord Set gave me it as a present, too. I remember a group of ruffians placing it in an honored place before dumping my pelvis into the lower depths. Pardon my Nordic, but they were right bastards. Tremendous. You've recovered all my parts. I cannot wait to be whole once more.